Hi, I'm Amy Webb. Want to know how to stop feeling so emotionally overwhelmed? By the end of this video, you'll have my 3-step process to help you to move through this emotional overwhelm and get back to achieving great things in your work and in your life. For empowering guidance to start to overcome your own anxiety and self-doubt as an ambitious woman, hit the bell to subscribe to my channel for a new video every single Thursday. Before we get into the 3 steps, let's talk about why emotional overwhelm arises. Most of us, especially women working in corporate or professional jobs, are experiencing a lot of stress right now, and you could call that survival stress. And from that place of survival, where we're really thinking from our fear-based part of our brain, it's really difficult to find a way through our problems. And so problem solving or finding different options becomes really hard. You could think of it like, and this is something I say with my clients often, if your nervous system is really tight and wound up, so will be your brain. And you'll be looking at life through a really small lens, trying to find solutions from a really limited point of view. And so the first thing I want to share before we get into the steps is it's not your fault if you're feeling this way. Right now, it's very, very normal to feel like you're experiencing a lot of survival stress and like you're in survival mode. And if your body's in that place, it's natural to feel unsafe. It's natural to feel unheard. It's natural to feel unseen because we're not able to see our full potential from that place, and it brings us a lot of overwhelm. So if our nervous system is in that state of survival, the first thing we need to do is work on calming down our nervous system. It's like we move from clenched fists, if you imagine your nervous system like that, like clenched up, to slightly softening our nervous system. And the more you soften and get in a rhythm with your body, the more your brain will open up. You'll be able to see more possibilities, and you'll start to feel less overwhelmed with the workload that you have or the solutions that you need to find in your problem solving. So let's get into the steps to calm down your nervous system and get out of emotional overwhelm. Step 1, ground your energy. And so when you think about survival stress and the state of feeling really limited and contracted and in fear, when we're in that place, we're really flighty. We're hovering above our head. We're not in the center of ourselves. And so we want to do practices that help us to ground our energy. One of the most powerful practices for me and for my clients is meditation. And meditating in such a way that you're able to connect with the earth underneath you. If you think about nature, nature is such a grounding, potent source of energy for us. If you go into a forest or you're at a beach, no matter what the landscape, there's a sense of feeling more connected to the earth underneath your feet. And when we meditate, irrespective of whether we're in nature or not, we also get that same opportunity to drop into more of the stability and the safety of the earth underneath us. So if you think that anxiety creates a lot of overwhelm and overthinking, your energy is really high. What we want to do is bring the energy down a few notches so that you can feel the heaviness of your body, the solidity of your body, the sense that you're coming back home inside your body. So meditation can help us to feel that sensation, to feel ourselves becoming more heavy in our body, to feel ourselves breathing inside our body and slowly drawing our presence and our awareness back inside this vessel as opposed to outside of ourselves in lots of different places. And so as an example, if you're working in a work environment, in an office, and there's really bright lights and it's really stimulating, the environment is really loud, a lot of the time our energy will rise and rise and rise and get lost in the stimulation of that busy workplace, the office, the lights, the electricity, the energy of that space. And so when we come home from work, we want to find our center again. We want to either spend time in nature or meditate every day to be able to drop back in to that place of feeling grounded. If this is resonating for you, hit the like button and leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear what are the ways that you help to ground your energy. Step 2, notice how it physically feels in your body. So when we're feeling really emotionally overwhelmed, we start to get in a little bit of a panic about feeling what it is that we're actually feeling. And so one of the key things that I teach my clients in our community, in our programs, is how to actually feel safe enough to start to feel what's there. I really see it often with ambitious women that have really busy schedules and maybe are working, 9 to 5 or working more hours than that. There's this sense that there's not enough time or space to drop into what you're feeling. And we can numb out and avoid and distract ourselves from actually going there, which is kind of counterintuitive because it means that we're becoming more and more full of emotions. If you think of yourself as a vessel, you have so much that you can kind of pack in here without dealing with it. And so the more you avoid, the more emotional overwhelm sets in. And so we really want to learn how to actually notice the sensations in the body and become familiar with them and get curious about them. Step 3, name your feeling. So the second step was to actually feel the sensations in your body and to start to turn your awareness from the outer world into the inner world, to be able to start to actually connect with what's going on inside. Unfortunately, the only way through the overwhelm is by moving through it. And that's why support is always really essential. And so the third step is to start to actually name the sensations in your body. So what we recommend in our programs and what we teach our clients is to use meditations, really intentional meditation practices, to be able to drop into your body in a safe way and to turn your awareness inward, to be able to identify what it is that you're actually feeling inside yourself. And so as you start to move through your sensations, you'll pick up on the most dominant, most obvious sensations. When that happens, you can try naming those feelings by speaking them out loud. And at first, it might be just a physical sensation. Let's say a tight chest. If you're feeling really tight in your chest, you could speak out loud to the tightness by simply saying, I am tight in my chest. And so you're in a meditative state, you're breathing, you're connecting with your body, and you speak out loud and say, I am tight in my chest. As you do that, what you will start to feel with practice and time is a shift in the tightness in your chest. And as you feel that shift in the tightness, you can potentially identify a deeper emotion that exists underneath that tightness. You might move from feeling tight in your chest to feeling a little bit more of an ache in your heart space to feeling a sense of sadness. If that happens, what you're doing is really powerful. You're connecting with more of the true emotion that exists underneath the physical sensation. And naming it and claiming it is your power. Brené Brown always talks about this. And so the third step is to just start to play with naming the sensations and emotions that you're feeling in a safe environment using meditation to start to move through that process yourself. If you're resonating with this video, but you know that this is just the tip of the iceberg and you're aware that you've got a lot of emotion inside you that you need to unpack and you want to do it in a safe way, I highly recommend going and watching our free training on how to overcome anxiety and self-doubt without having to sacrifice your life or your career goals. And you can find that in the links below. If you liked this video, hit the bell and subscribe to my channel for a new video every Thursday, and be sure to share it with your friends. I really would love to build this community with you, and really thank you for watching this video. All the best.